Hey y'all, I'm Jen and thanks so much for visiting my channel. For today's video, I will be going over my eyeshadow palette collection. Sorry, I'm looking down so that I get everything that I want to say done. These will be broken out into several videos because it's way too long. I've got way too many palettes to be able to get it all into one video. I'll probably be grouping them all together by brand just to kind of make it easier because I do have multiples for multiple brands. And I think we'll go ahead and start with ColourPop just because that's the one that I have the most of, and then we'll go from there. I'm not sure how many videos. I'm guessing anywhere from 3 to 5 videos I'm going to have to break this up into. Yes, I have that many palettes, but that's okay, in my opinion. So I just want to have just a little disclaimer here. I'm not making this video to brag in any way. I just thought it would be helpful to, you know, show my collection, give a little insight into, you know, my makeup style and my preferences. I've purchased all of these myself. I don't receive any PR. They've been purchased over several years. I'm kind of a bargain shopper and look for deals, so, you know, it is what it is. I realize that I have way more eyeshadow than any one person could ever use, but that's my passion. I love all things beauty and I love eyeshadow palettes, so I think a lot of us do. So hopefully you'll enjoy this. At this point I'm not decluttering anything. I just don't have time to really do that and make those decisions right now. I do plan on doing a declutter in the future, and I will definitely film any declutters that I have in the future. Don't worry about that. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, it will be broken into several videos, so definitely please subscribe and ring that notification bell so that you can make sure to see all of them and any other fun future content that I have planned coming up. So let's go ahead and get started. The first brand I'm going to start with is Beautē. They are an indie brand, I do believe. So I've got a few palettes from them. First one I have here is the Vintage Dawn. Yeah, I do believe that this one came in a BoxyCharm. This is what she looks like. Super, super pretty. Nice vibrant colors, but I can see a lot of fall looks in this palette, so I can't wait to, I actually haven't tested this one out. I can't wait to give this one a go for this fall. Next up I have actually, these came in a 4-pack. I bought them as a 4-pack, but you can also get them individually. So it was kind of a color series collection, I think, that they did last year. So we'll start with the Slice of Paradise. This is the rainbow palette version that they have for this collection. And this is what it looks like. Super, super pretty. I really do like this brand a lot. The only kind of complaint that I might have, or feedback I might have, is that their shimmers are kind of thin. Like, I'll give you an example. This color right here. So when you go and you swipe it, I don't know, it's just, you can kind of see the streakiness. It's kind of thin, and so if you spread it out, sometimes it's better to you know, maybe have a base eyeshadow underneath it, and just to get a little bit more pigmentation from it. But otherwise the mattes are awesome. And the shimmers are really pretty. They're just a little thin for my liking, so I like to sometimes layer a base underneath them. So I've found that so far with all of the Beautē palettes that I've tried so far. But I do like them, and their color stories are nice and unique and really pretty. This next one is my favorite from them. It's the Paradise Fallen. It's their purple palette. And this is what it looks like right here. And I really like the unique purple tones. You've got some really nice kind of cool tones in there. You've got, and I like how you have the gray and the silver and some cooler brown tones to go with it. It's a really cohesive, very pretty color story in my opinion. Okay, and then next up is the Ace Beautē Blossom Passion. This is the pink palette, pink and red palette. That's what it looks like right there. Super pretty. Okay. Then I have the last of the 4 pack, and this is the Ace Beautē Classical Paradise. Sorry, Classical Paradise. I just love the packaging on these. Are so pretty. Got the Birds of Paradise flowers on the front of that. And then this one right here, just, man, I really enjoyed this last fall a lot, and I know I'll be getting a lot of use out of it again this fall. So definitely recommend this palette for the fall. It's a beautiful palette. I have Alter Ego. I only have 2 palettes from them. And if you've never heard of Alter Ego, you probably have. Most people have. I've seen lots of videos on them. They're, I guess you would call them a dupe brand. They like to, I think most of the palettes they've done are either duplicating ABH or Natasha Denona. So what I have here today, I have the Goddess. So this is the dupe for the Natasha Denona Gold palette. And it's really, really pretty. I think they did a really good job in kind of capturing some of the same tones and also the same finishes. So I was very pleased with this palette. And I look forward to trying some more stuff from them in the future for sure. This is just gorgeous. Like, I've got to swatch. I'm going to swatch this one right here. This kind of green gold right there. Oh, it's not focusing. Focus. There we go. And then it's got kind of that, come on, pick it up, duochrome shift. You can kind of see it. Anyway, it's super pretty. Highly recommend them. Their palettes are very reasonable. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head how much this one was, but I mean, I think it was under $20 if I'm not mistaken. So, and Natasha's in the gold, what was it, $129, I believe. I think that's the full-size palette. The next one I have is also from Alter Ego. This is the Artemis. This is the dupe for the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette. Again, same thing, just so pretty. They captured the tone so well, and the finishes are just, they're really good, and the lasting power on these is just incredible. And I believe this palette was $22, I believe, something like that. And again, it's a $129 palette for the original, so definitely highly recommend. And next up, let's do my ABH palettes. Quite a few of them, as you can see right here. So we'll go through each one of them, starting with the first one that I ever got. That was my first love for ABH, and that would be the Modern Renaissance. Right here, we've all seen this one. It's so pretty. And, oh, come on, focus, there we go. I'm real gentle with my palettes. I've used the crap out of this palette, but it's kind of hard to tell. So I'm real gentle with my palettes, and you'll see that as I go through more of them. So there's that. Next up is what was supposed to be the sister palette to the Modern Renaissance, but we all know how that turned out. This is the Subculture. I have the actual original that came out, so this one's a little bit more difficult to work with, but I still do really enjoy it. I just have to, you know, make sure I allow enough time to actually work with this palette, just because it's a little tricky, a little finicky, but well worth it. The looks in the end just are definitely well worth it. Okay, next up is the soft Glam. And that's what she looks like right there. Just a beautiful neutral warm tone palette. Beautiful shimmers. Can't go wrong with the ABH formula in my opinion. Next up I have the original Norvina palette. What everybody thought was going to be the purple palette, which it has some real pretty purples in here. I love my purples, and man, the shimmers in this are really, really pretty. I definitely like this palette a lot. Definitely very pretty. I gotta come up with other things to say other than pretty, and I like it a lot. I'll work on that. Next up is the Riviera. This was one of the first colorful palettes that I think I've ever bought from them. I think I've only used it a couple times. I like it quite a bit. I actually saw quite a few people that weren't real happy with it, but I actually really like the color story on it, and I like that I can get bright looks, neutral looks, neutral with pops of color, you know, so I actually quite like it. And I don't think this is available anymore. I'm pretty sure it was limited edition, sadly. Next up I have the Aina palette. This one is just so beautiful. I actually really love the packaging that she did on this too. I think it was very unique. This is what she looks like right here. And she's just so pretty. I have to swatch at least one. I think I'm going to swatch Zam right here. This one right here. I mean, look at that. Look at that. That's so pretty. The shimmers, oh, just so pretty. And the mattes are awesome too. But you know, if you've used ABH before, then you know how their shadows perform. Next up I have the Alyssa Edwards palette right here. This one I actually have not used, but I need to. She's really pretty. I love all the bright pops of color in there and the purples. So pretty. So I need to do some looks with this one, most definitely. Alright, and then I have the Carli Bybel palette. And this one I just don't think it really got enough attention. I think this is a gorgeous palette. I know that a lot of people complained that these two right here are really similar. This is hard. These two right here are very similar to each other, but I don't know. I still think that they have their own uniqueness to them. OA has a lot of real sparkly glitter to it, so I don't know. I think it's really pretty, and I definitely enjoy this palette a lot. And I personally liked the front of this. I think that's real pretty. Kind of looks like pearls, or I'm not sure exactly what she was going for, but I think it's really pretty. And I know that I've seen that one as well as the Aina palette both on sale at a lot of places, so I would definitely recommend snagging those if you're interested in them. Next up is probably my favorite ABH palette, and that is the Sultry palette. Unfortunately, this one was limited edition, is no longer available either. This is more of a cool tone palette. I don't know, this past year I've really gotten into cool tones a lot. I really like them. And I don't know, the shimmers again in this are just, they're on next level, even compared to some of their other palettes in my opinion. So if you ever come across this, I definitely recommend it. And then my last rectangular ABH palette is the Prism palette. This one also is unfortunately no longer available. This one is kind of just, I don't know, I like it a lot. I like the colors in here. It's just a little tricky. I need to play around with it some more come up with some more looks. I can see some Halloween looks coming out of this possibly or something. So I'm looking forward to using that this fall and this winter. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And last in the ABH line, I believe, is the ABH Norvina Volume 1 palette or collection. Norvina Collection palette Volume 1. Yep, that's what it says. And this is what she looks like. Try to hold it up without the mirror blinding you. There we go. And this one, if you can't tell, purples are my favorite color. You'll be able to tell as we go farther along, I'm sure, and you see more of my collection. And so this one was the one that really called to me out of the first 3 that she released. And so, yeah, this is the one I snatched up. I didn't get the other 2. I am definitely interested in the 4th color. Those real pretty rosy and pinky tones. Whew, they have my heart. They're pretty. So, maybe eventually one of these days I'll get that one. Okay, next up, I think I only have one from this brand. This is the Alomar Reina del Caribe, I believe. Yep. And then this is what she looks like right here. I do believe they've changed the packaging on this since it initially came out. I think now that, because I think they're in Target, I think now that the front is open where you can actually see the eyeshadows, which I like that design. But regardless, this is a gorgeous palette. I would like to try her other palettes. I know she just came out with one called Spanglish that has purples and pinks. I've got my eye on that one for sure. Next up, got a few palettes from this brand. This brand was also a dupe brand. They're unfortunately no longer available, which is sad because they had some really good palettes in my opinion. So I have a few of them still in my collection. The first one I have here is the Bad Habit, and this is the Divine palette. And sadly, like I said, they're out of business completely, so you can't get their palettes anymore unless you find them secondhand. This is the dupe to the Natasha Denona Star palette. And their dupes were really good. Not quite as good in my opinion as Alter Ego, but they're really good. So if you do come across something, you know, I would recommend it, most definitely. So that was the Divine palette. Next up, this is the Cult Mythos palette. This was a dupe for one of the Pat McGrath palettes. To be careful because one of my shades came shattered. This shade right here came shattered and I repressed it. So, but anyways, this is what it looks like. So you can see, kind of tried to mimic the special shades. I mean, it's not perfect, but I'm trying to see if I can get like that green. It does shift pretty well, but it's not picking it up on the camera. Next up, this is the Aftershock, also by Bad Habit. This was a dupe for the Huda Obsessions palette. I don't remember her bright one. I don't remember the name of it, but that's what it looks like right here. I like all the pops of colors, real pretty. So there you go. Next up, I have the Bad Habit Retro Love. And this is a dupe for the, or was a dupe for the ABH Subculture. So I definitely like keeping this around in my collection just because I like those grungy colors. And this one's a little bit easier to work with than the actual Subculture palette, in my opinion. At least the original version of the Subculture, which is the one that I have. Next up I have Bad Habit Artistry, and this is a dupe for the ABH and Makeup by Mario palette right here. So since you can't get that anymore, I definitely hung on to this because I really do like the color story in this too. Nice pretty neutral palette. And then the last one I have, I believe from Bad Habit, is the Artistry 2. And this was the, I do believe, dupe for KKW and Makeup by Mario, their first palette that they came out with. Right there, with their pop of blue and all their neutral warm tones in there. It's a very pretty palette as well. So there we go. Those are my Bad Habit palettes right there. And I do like that you're able to get good quality. I mean, sadly with Bad Habit we can't anymore, but we can with like Alter Ego and another brand that I'll be showing, that you can get really good quality for an affordable price, because we all know that makeup is very expensive. Alright, let's see. Next up I've got some palettes by BH Cosmetics. This first one is called Smitten in Switzerland. It's really pretty. I'm not sure if this one's, I think it is. I think these are still available. I'm not 100% sure though, but I really like this palette. I think it has a pretty unique color story. Very pretty. And BH Cosmetics, I think their quality is really good and they're very affordable, and they have sales all the time. So you can get their stuff at Ulta, but honestly I usually get better deals whenever I buy directly from their website because they have such good sales. This next one right here is the Weekend Festival palette. This one was such a hit, and just, it's so good. I wish, I don't know why, but they discontinued it, and they came out with kind of another version that was not near as good as this one. So I hung on to this one and skipped the other one. So, but that's this right here. Okay, next up I have the Royal Affair. And I don't know why I keep all my slips, but I do. And I love this palette. Oh my goodness. Talk about some grungy tones you can see, and you've got that real pretty kind of chartreuse looking shade right there. So this is just a really good all-around palette in my opinion. And I do believe this one's still available. Next up is this. I think this is the last. Nope, I've got one more, I think. This is the Desert Oasis. I believe this one's still available too. This is just a beautiful neutral palette with some pops of blue, and it also has some real pretty highlighters in there as well. And then the last one I have is the BH Cosmetics Zodiac Love Signs. I don't have the original Zodiac, but I do have this one. I like this one a lot. And that's what it looks like right there. And I'm pretty sure this one's still available. Super pretty. And these right here are their baked formula. The ones with the dome are all their baked formulas. Oh my gosh. I'll swatch one. Let's see. Which one do I want to swatch? Let's do this gold. This is Cancer right here. Let's do this one. So you can either do them wet or dry. I think you get a better effect whenever you use them wet. But I mean, as you can see right there, you still, I mean, look at how foiled that is. And that's completely dry. So yeah, they're really good quality. Okay, this one is just a one-off palette right here. This is the BoxyCharm palette that I guess they did on their own. I'm not quite sure the story here, but anyways. So we all got this in BoxyCharm, and this is what it looks like. I haven't actually tried it out yet, although I did see some pretty good reviews on it, so I definitely want to give this one a try. It's really pretty. And I'm curious about the quality. So that's that. And then I have one palette from Buxom. This one and I think one other palette most recently came out, and honestly Buxom is one of those brands that I think is highly underrated because their eyeshadow quality is really good. A lot of people know Buxom for their lip products, especially like their lip polish, but honestly their eyeshadow quality is really good, and they have, I guess, primer already in the eyeshadows from what I recall. So I don't know, I definitely highly, if you ever see a color story or if you want to do their individual palettes where you pick out your own colors and then you make your own, I think it's like a 5 or 6 pan palette. They're really good. I'll swatch some of these because they just... I'll do that one. Let's do that one. And we'll do a matte. Did I get that one? No, that's good. So I don't know why I didn't swatch anything on my middle finger, but anyways, here's those right here. And so there's one. Oh, is that the finger I didn't swatch on? Yeah, that's the finger I didn't swatch on. Okay. Thought I was losing my mind. There we go, right there. This one is kind of a matte with glitter in it. Well, that was a terrible swatch. Alright, well, anyways, you get the point. So, there's those shimmers right there. I'm obviously not good at swatching. I need some practice at that. So, bear with me, please. And this one was called Boss Babe Dolly. They have another one that's like a warm neutral palette that's real pretty too. I just picked this one up. I didn't get the other one. Okay, next up I have another affordable brand to show you. This is called C-Color Cosmetics. They are also a dupe or inspired brand. This right here is the dupe for the Huda Smoky Obsessions palette. Right here. This is what it looks like. Super, super pretty. Really good quality on these. And super affordable. Even more affordable than Alter Ego. Next one is Obsessed 2. And this is what it looks like on the inside. This is the dupe for the Huda Warm Brown Obsessions palette. And y'all, I think these are like $6 maybe. And then I also know that Rhonda from Hot Mess Mama MD has a code that you can use to get 10% off. I believe it's Hot Mess 10. And then let's see, this is Obsessed 3. So this is the dupe for the Huda Mauve Obsessions palette right here. Super good quality, like I said again. And then 10% off. And like I said, I think these particular ones, I think they're about $6. Super cheap and really good quality in my opinion. Alright, next up is also C-Color Cosmetics. This is the Sundown palette. And this is a dupe for the Natasha Denona Sunset palette. Right here. You can see that she's gotten a lot of love. Very pretty. Next one is the Tropical. Right here, and this is the dupe for the Natasha Denona Tropic palette. Right there. Okay, next up, this is called the Unisex one, also from C-Color Cosmetics. This one is a dupe for one of the Laura Lee palettes. I think it was the second one she came out with. I don't remember the name of it. Sorry. I didn't buy any of her stuff, but I loved the color story, and these were really reasonable, so I tried them out, and I really do love them. This one is really good. And then I also have, and it's the last one I think I have of this brand at this moment. This is called the Dope palette, and this is a dupe for the Laura Lee Nudie Patootie palette. Right here. And you can see this even has a mirror, so, you know, and the packaging I think is really pretty and good quality. So there you go. That's all I think I have in that brand right there. But like I said, I believe it's Hot Mess 10 will get you 10% off at C-Color Cosmetics. And all of their palettes are really affordable. I want to say the most expensive one is maybe like $15, somewhere around there. All right, next up, I only have one palette from this brand. This is Beautē London. We just got this in Boxy Charm last month, I think. This is the Editor palette, New England. I actually haven't had a chance to play with this one yet, but I have played with Beautē shadows in the past and have been very pleased with them, so I am looking forward to playing with this palette. I think it's a gorgeous palette, and I'm sure the quality is going to be excellent on it. So there's that. Alrighty, next up I have Colored Rain. This one right here is the Vivid Pressed Pigments and Shadows palette. Initially when they came out with all these colors, they were singles, and then they went ahead and put them in a palette for us. So I just love it. I love how they have the color story laid out. It's gorgeous. I mean, honestly, it's a beautiful all matte rainbow palette. Have just about every color you need, and then you just, you know, grab your shimmers from another palette if you want to, or just go all matte. It's a gorgeous palette, so, and really good quality. Again, they're pressed pigments though, so you know you have to work a little. They're super pigmented, so you have to kind of, it's not necessarily a beginner palette, but I think it's a really good one. And then the other palette I have from Colored Rain is the Queen of Hearts palette, and I keep the sleeve because it's just so pretty. This is what the actual palette looks like. I wish they had put that artwork on this palette. I'm sure most of us have seen this by now. This one was super hyped up, went out, kept going out of stock, then was discontinued, and then they brought it back. So because it was just so popular, so reflective, but you can see those shades right there. Again, super pigmented shadows. This is actually a black owned brand, so you know they do a really good job with their pigmentation in my opinion. And the quality is impeccable. Their mattes, their shimmers, their foils. Actually, I'm gonna swatch one of their foils because let's do this one. Let's do Your Majesty right here. I mean, look at that. Look at that, that's crazy. And my hands are so dry, so please ignore that, but look at that. I mean, so pretty. Highly recommend Colored Rain shadows. Let us see what's next. Let's go with Dominique Cosmetics. Alright, first up I have this one. I don't know the name of it. I want to say it's Sweater Weather, but I don't know that that's right. But anyways, that's what this one is. It's not on here at all. I don't think so. Anyways, I know this came like in some subscription boxes and whatnot. That's how I picked it up. I bought it from somebody that had it in a subscription box. I think it's really pretty. I really like the mattes in here, like especially this one right here. I don't know, I know that it doesn't look like much, but I feel inspired by this palette, so I really like this one a lot. And then this is the Celestial Thunder palette. This is like the smaller version of the Celestial Storm, which I would like to eventually get that one, but I got this one in Boxy Charm, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So you can't go wrong there. And it's beautiful. I really like the quality of her shadows. They're really nice. And then this was her first one. This is the Latte palette. Right here. And that's what she looks like. Super pretty, great tones, really easy to work with. And then the last one I have of hers is the Rustic Glam. I actually haven't used this one. I think I got this on an Ipsy special for super cheap. It was like half off or something. But that's what this looks like. And I think it's gorgeous. I can see some fall looks with this one for sure. So, can you tell I'm in the mood for fall? Even though it was like 90 degrees here today in Texas. Well, it started off at like, I don't know, 50 degrees and then made its way up to like 90 degrees, and that's just how it goes here in Texas. So I'm ready for fall. Alright, next up I have a few from Dose of Colors. This one's gotten a lot of love. This is the I Love Sarahi palette right here. Was there any other name on it? I think that's it. Like I said, this one's gotten lots of love. I've taken this traveling a lot, so it's looking pretty dingy. But, I mean, it's just gorgeous. So, you know, it's going nowhere. It will still continue to get lots of love. That's one of my more used palettes just because it's so easy to take and pack and travel with. This one is the Baked Browns. I got this in a BoxyCharm. I don't think I've even tried it yet. Nope, sure haven't. She is brand new. I need to give her a try. I've heard the quality is really good on these, so I definitely want to give it a try. And then this one is the Desi and Katie Friendcation palette. This one I love. Oh wow, so pretty. So that's what that looks like right there. Okay, so move that out of the way. This is, once my stuff's all set up, this is part of how I store my palettes. I got these on Amazon, so once I get it all set up, back up there, I'll try to remember to link these in the description box below. Okay, I think that's where we're going to stop the video here, and then I'll have to move on to another one. I hope so far you're enjoying seeing my collection, and thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to like if you like the video, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so that you'll get notified of all my future content. I will try to link all of the videos in the description box once I've got them all uploaded, so hopefully it'll make it easier for you to find them, or I'll put them in the cards up wherever they pop up there. So there you go. So again, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day or night wherever you are in this world. Stay safe and stay healthy. Bye bye.